This is Green Thunder with a reading of Tails' Great Day by RaceFan26, 2464. Here we go. Link in the description below. The sun had risen in Mobius, and in the home of the twin-tailed fox, Tails was in the living room ready for what the day has for him. But today he doesn't plan on working on his plane or inventions. Instead, he plans on taking it easy and spend his day with his little golden retriever puppy, Woofy. Woofy, who hasn't spent two with no T-O-O, just T-O, much toy T-O-M, since Tails is always busy most of the time. There was no period in any of that. Okay. Looks like a beautiful day, boy, Tails said to his pup while petting him. Let me reiterate. Quotation marks, looks like a beautiful day, boy, quotation marks, comma, Tails said to his pup while petting him. I think today is gonna be a good day, Tails continued with a smile. Woofy wagged his tail and licked Tails' cheek. Tails giggled and gently hugged him. Hey, how about we pay Sonic a visit? I bet he's enjoying it this good day, Tails said as he grabbed the leash and put on Woofy's collar, then headed out the door to Sonic's place. My God. Anyway, meanwhile, at Sonic's place, Sonic too was taking it easy as well. But instead, he decides to be a bit lazy and relax while in his dark blue nightcap and slippers and his cat Starlight. What the fuck is this shit? With his little kitten Star, ? Sonic said, with his cat and his cat Star right beside him. Nothing like chilling out on a perfect day with my little kitten Star, right? Kitten, right, Star? Sonic said as he petted Star as he meowed. Sonic giggled and Sonic doesn't fucking giggle. And then sighed of relief. Life is good, Sonic said as he put his arms behind his head. Then the doorbell as heard! The doorbell as heard! Come in! Doors open! Sonic greeted as it was Tails that came in with his puppy on the leash. Hey, Sonic! I see you're enjoying the day quite well! Tails said with a giggle as Sonic giggled as well. Yeah, I figured just to chill out and relax the whole day through little bro. Sonic replied as Tails smiled and sat down with Sonic. Maybe me and Woofy can join you then, big bro. Tails said with a smile as Sonic smiled as well. You're more than welcome to, little bro, Sonic said as he then hugged his little brother and Tails hugged him back. Then, as Sonic relaxed again, he then let out a soft yawn. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna say this right fucking now. There are 0 fucking periods in this story. That is sad. Okay, actually, there's only fucking ellipses, and, like, at the very end of a paragraph, I'm looking down, this is fucking torture. Just follow the link in the description, go see how shitty this fanfic really is in terms of grammar. My god, even I couldn't write this badly. Okay, where was I? You're more than welcome to, little bro. Sonic hugged him back. Then, as Sonic relaxed again, he let out a soft yawn. You know, I think a nap would be pretty nice. Sonic says he kicked off his slippers off his feet and then rests his legs and feet on the footstool. Well, come to think of it, it would be nice to have a nice deserving nap, Tails said as Sonic was about to doze off. Well, just chill, relax, nice. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Trying to fucking fall asleep. Sonic then dozed off and started to snore. Tails smiled as he then closed his eyes and took a nap as well. After an hour and a half... No period here. Really? After an hour and a half, Tails then woke up from his nap, but he saw Sonic still napping and snoring a bit louder than before. Tails smiled as he then grabbed a blanket and put it on Sonic and quietly picked up Woofy and silently headed out the door without waking Sonic up from his nap. Tails then headed to Station Square with his puppy to take a nice walk at... Tails then headed to Station Square with his puppy to take a nice walk at town! At town! They went to the park, walked to the market, looked around the pet store, and then sat at the fountain in town to sit down for a bit. Then afterwards, as they was about to head out of town, Tails saw Cream and Amy, and they had a nice long chat. We're not gonna fucking tell you what the hell they talked about. We're just too lazy. You know what? I'd rather hear what fucking Amy and Cream have to say about this bullshit. Oh, I don't like this story very much, Mr. Sonic. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. Amy, your language. It's good to be helping. Okay. A few minutes later, Tails and Woofy was back home, sitting on the front porch, just enjoying the rest of the day. He and Woofy played some fetch, as well as playing with some toys. They then laid on the grass and took a little tan. I think the words you're looking for are tanned and tanned. Then the Tails looked and saw the floating island where Knuckles lives. I wonder what Knuckles is doing. Tails thought as he then got up and picked up his puppy. Come on, let's go see Knuckles, Tails said as he headed to the workshop, and then they both got on the plane. Not the Tornado, not Sonic's plane, not the Tornado 2, just got into the plane, and flew to the floating island. Almost there, Green, almost there. Once they arrived at the island, he and his puppy got off the plane and walked to the Master Emerald, not the Master Emerald Shrine, just to the Master Emerald, to see if Knuckles was there. They'd looked around, but he wasn't around. Hey, Tails, what are you doing up here? What are you doing up there? Knuckles asked from inside his small home. How the fuck did he know they were there? Oh, sorry, Knuckles. I figured you'd be up here. Tails replied as Knuckles smiled. That's okay, Tails. Come on in and make yourself at home. Knuckles said as Tails came down and headed inside Knux's house. Knux's house. So how's everything going, little guy? Knuckles asked as Tails sat the couch! Sat the couch with Knuckles! It's going well. Just figured that I would visit my brother, Knuckles. Yeah, they may have brotherly love, but this is not what I was thinking! It's going well. Just figured I would visit my brother, Knuckles. Tails replied as Knuckles smiled and gently rubbed Tails' head. That's a good one. Speaking of brothers, how's Sonic? Knuckles asked. He's good, just taking it easy, Tails replied as Knuckles nodded. I wouldn't blame him. On a day like today, who wouldn't take it easy? Knuckles asked as Tails nodded with agreement. Then Knuckles got up and said, Hey, are you hungry? Knuckles asked the Tails' belly rumbled, not grumbled, just rumbled. Yeah, I could have something to eat. Tails replied, All right, I'll go fix something to eat. Just make yourself at home, bro. Knuckles said as he headed to the kitchen, as Tails nodded and petted his puppy. Then after a few minutes, he and Knuckles ate some dinner, which was some roast what? And some green beans and mashed potatoes. Okay, you got me there. Then afterwards, they both watched some TV and relaxed while doing so. No comment. Knuckles looked at Tails and said, Tails, I'm proud of you. I'm proud you and I are friends. Tails looked at Knuckles and replied, Me too, Knuckles. You remind me of Sonic sometime, Knuckles. Knuckles was a bit confused. So am I! Really? Why is that? Knuckles asked. Well, like Sonic, you take care of me. When? I don't remember anything like that in either Sonic X, Sonic Underground. Alright, not that many shows. Tails answered as Knuckles. You take care of me, and you protect me like Sonic does, Tails answered as Knuckles smiled. Well, Tails, you and I are brothers too, and I never want to see my little brother hurt. Truth be told, Tails, I'm glad you're my little brother. Knuckles said with a smile, as Tails smiled too. And I'm glad you're my brother too, Knuckles, Tails replied as he then hugged Knuckles. Knuckles smiled as he loved the hug, and he then hugged him back. You're the best, Tails, Knuckles said while hugging Tails. Same to you, Knuckles, Tails replied while they both hugged. Later that evening, Tails was still in Knuckles' place. While Knuckles returned wearing his nightgown pajamas. I can't make this shit up. And nightcap and slippers on his feet. Tails smiled as he saw Knuckles sit on his armchair. sat on his armchair. This has been a good day. Not for me, Knuckles. Not for fucking me. Knuckles said as then sighed with relief. I couldn't agree more, Knuckles, Tails replied as Knuckles smiled. I'm really glad that you came over, Tails. It's nice to have a friend to keep me company, Knuckles said as Tails smiled. Well, I'm just glad to be with you, Knuckles. It feels like a long time since we last spent time together, Tails said as Knuckles agreed. Tails said as Knuckles agreed. This is getting boring, as if it already had been. Tails said as Knuckles agreed. I'm sure. It sure has, little brother. It sure has, Knuckles said as he took off his slippers and then softly yawned. Tails smiled as he got a blanket from the couch excuse me, and put on Knuckles. He put on Knuckles! Okay. You got me there. You got me, okay. Where the fuck's the hidden camera? Anyway. Thanks, little brother, Knuckles said with a yawn. You're welcome, Knuckles, Tails replied as he then hugged Knuckles and he hugged him back. Tails, could you do me one little favor? Knuckles asked while yawning. Sure, Knuckles, what is it? Tails said as Knuckles pointed to the lamp. Would you turn off the lamp for me, please? Knuckles said with one last yawn as his eyes closing very slowly as Tails then turned off the lamp and the whole house went dark. That must be one huge ass lava lamp. There you go, Knuckles! There we go! There we go, Knuckles! Whee! If anything, this thing is so bad, it's fucking hilarious. Whee! There we go, Knuckles! Okay, need anything else? Tails asked, but he only heard snoring from Knuckles as he'd already fallen asleep. Tails smiled as he gently hugged him while Knuckles slept and snored. Good night, Knuckles. See you soon, Tails said as he quietly picked up his puppy and quietly left his home and flew the airplane on his airplane, not specified, but that's okay. We're almost done. Back home, Knuckles kept snoring as he then smiled in his sleep, knowing that he was loved by his little brother. This fic has good intentions, but it's just... Here we go, final, God knows, 5th, 6th, I don't know. Later that night, Tails was in his little nightcap and slippers on his feet as he just sat down on his bed and petted his puppy. This was such a great day, Woofy. I'm glad that you joined me, Tails said as Woofy wagged his tail. Tails smiled as he took off his slippers and laid on his bed and put his blanket on him with his puppy laying there on Tails' belly. I'm sorry if I keep pausing, it's just this thing just makes my brain hurt. Tails then turned off his lamp as the moonlight shined down on him. Tails smiled as looked up at the sky. I'm very lucky to have good friends, as well as great brothers like Sonic and Knuckles, Tails said as he petted his puppy, and he then started to yawn as he slowly closed his eyes. I love you, Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic and Knuckles. Tails said as he Tails said drowsily as he stopped petting his puppy as he'd fallen asleep and then snored softly. Wolfie then fell asleep too while Tails slept and snored. He then began to dream about spending time with his brother Sonic and Knuckles. Tails smiled as he slept, knowing that his brothers will always be there for him no matter what will happen. Excuse me for a second, people. What the fuck was that shit?! This has been Tails' Great Day by RaceFan2464. I hope you enjoyed me losing my sanity. Peace out, motherfuckers!